It's great to see. I mean, in the community feedback, if something does seem like it's a little off balance, I mean, it's like, hey, listen, we're going to take your thoughts, we're going to rebuild on that, we're going to, release a pat. I mean, a lot of people feel like it's, Tuesday rolls around, and I'm thinking, man, I really want to keep the stream going for another 3 or 4 hours. But it's like, hey, listen, I'm excited to see what's next. Just like I'm excited to see this matchup.
Legion Alley, here we are. NICKMERCS and Sypher going against Myth and Hamlinz. NICKMERCS and Sypher, the champions of the first tournament, going against Myth and Hamlinz. Hamlinz finished in second place with Dacon last time, but now powering up with Myth has become even more powerful. I expect a lot. And, of course, I think we're going to be seeing from Myth and Hamlinz maybe a Salty Springs drop. Of course, they are going to be over that Dusty Dividend coming in for that low. They're going to be going for that house, right? They want that 3-tiered house.
Secret lab. Everybody, it seems to be that whenever people go into Salty Springs, it's literally just a battle.
We have
a tilted tower.
We have a tilted tower drop from NICKMERCS and Sypher.
Tunnel
Legion.
vision.
This is what we wanted.
This is exactly what we wanted.
L's, baby. This is my favorite place to land on the entire map. There's an escape route if you need to just go jump off that ledge and get away. I mean, they're ready. I'm ready to see some heat.
This is our console player, man. He's the one that's pushing in. He's saying, I'm dropping tilted. We're dropping tilted, boys. Let's go.
But, guys, Sypher's already in a bit of trouble. He's already had to do some defensive building. NICKMERCS, though, has been coming in to try and get some knocks himself. Sypher got a weak loot drop. He only has a silenced SMG. Now, he is, in fact, going to pick up that silenced pistol, which, by the way, packs a punch if you're able to get some connections there. But luckily, both of them are still alive, but still no kills have gone down. They got very weak drops. We'll see if they'll be able to capitalize. And there's the first drop going down. NICKMERCS getting in. He's going to go ahead and thirst him, taking him out. But look at the other end, too, with the TSM boys. No kills from them either, but, of course, they might have some engagements coming down later. I think this could be a close one, especially if NICKMERCS and Sypher last in Tilted.
I really like to see that silenced pistol. I mean, I think a lot of people underestimate that gun in general, especially from a distance.
Sure.
I mean, if you catch somebody and you're just trying to maybe even troll them a little bit, or just that's all you've got. I mean, you could pop people off head glitches all the time, and it does, 28 damage, pretty much minimum if you're dinking them with it. So it's kind of fun to just, hey, where am I at on the map? Try and find my shots.
I definitely love this tilted drop. I was really excited for the salty drop because we were talking about that a lot earlier, that a lot of people were dropping salty last time, and we haven't seen that yet in this tournament. And so I think I was so excited that I was tunnel vision on that. But a tilted towers drop from the console god himself going up against the man and the myth is crazy
Let's talk about
to me.
Myth with that gold scar, though.
Yeah.
Sure.
All commons, got a revolver, a mini, and then you just got a gold scar in that inventory lineup.
Yeah.
You
You never know what people have in their back pocket in this game.
Gold Scar is just an insane gun to have. And honestly, I would choose a Scar over a burst weapon. And the reason being is because it's versatility, right? A burst weapon, you kind of have to adapt your play to that burst weapon. But whenever it comes to a Scar, you can burst it, single shot it, go full auto, whatever you want to do. And you can burst through walls with it, right? So overall, I think the Scar still reigns supreme, as now that we have a little bit more of a feel with that FAMAS. But I mean, seriously, though, I've been watching Sypher and I've been watching NICKMERCS. Last night even, they were practicing going to Tilted, and it looks like the work is going to be paying off as they've now still alive. NICKMERCS does spot a player down below. He's already picked off 1 kill, but still, Sypher with that silence, still landing shots.
I'm telling you, no AR, and you laser with that thing from 200 meters away, especially in these tilted gunfights.
He's doing. You said that you wanted to see it, and here it is.
He brought it out to play, which is fantastic.
He dropping exactly where you said, making the saucy plays, and he's over here using the pistol that you specifically said that you wanted to see.
Tac subs. I mean, come on. Those are also, I feel like, if you've got that right after a shotgun, if you don't have that, you know, basically double shotgun option for you, it's an absolutely monstrosity to be able to play with. I mean, I feel so confident with a purple tac. I'm like, yep. Also for build destruction in general. I mean, sometimes it's even good at look. He even keeps that in his back pocket as well.
But NICKMERCS is, in fact, down. Sypher is going to be picking him up. And actually, you see on the screen, there's a little delay. NICKMERCS does go down from, it looks like a snipe that came from 42 meters away. So he's going to go ahead and back up. And, of course, you see on the bottom screen there, Sypher is, in fact, going to be able to save his life, which is good. He does have some band-aids in his back pocket. Probably going to be throwing those off to give him some heals at least. He's going to be able to heal up to at least 75. But I don't think they have any minis. But he has a med kit.
A med kit and a mini.
Okay.
So he should be all right. A little not as good as you'd want to be after going down to a sniper shot, knowing that there's a sniper very close to you, knowing that could be a full team very close to you. Obviously, you want to be at 200 at this point, but I feel like these two powerhouses definitely have the talent to still push through this and still dominate coming out of Tilted.
You know, one thing I'm surprised about is the TSM guys. Myth and Hamlinz have yet to still find an engagement. We do see Myth on his screen. He is going to find somebody coming out of the the left side, and he's going to easily pick off that kill there. Look at just the shots. Myth is so nasty at this game. He gets to knock, goes for the player, missing a couple of shots there, showing he is, in fact,
why is
human.
that guy even peeking him at this point? I mean, you know it's a Scar shooting at you. More than likely, your loot here in Divot versus his is probably not going to have yielded you a gold Scar out of sheer bad luck. I just think one of the things that I love to see in these pro players and these better players play up in these matchups is that a lot of the mistakes that you see, you know, players make that are more so like on the average spectrum is that when you get into these 1v2 situations, a lot of the time you're just like, I'm going to pursue it. And as we saw, you saw Mercs go down. Sypher was like, hey, listen, I could challenge that, but I've got heals. Let me just get you back up before I, you know, risk knocking us out early in the tournament. I feel like those really small decisions are what differentiate really good players from players that get a little too anxious, especially in gunfights.
And another thing, too, I just saw Myth getting pushed from not only above, but also to his left as well. And you just saw in his facial expressions as well as his gameplay how calm he stayed. And I think that's another thing, too, to maintain your composure inside those fights. And it's showing and it's paying off. They're currently sitting at 4 kills, but look at the other end of the screen there. NICKMERCS and Sypher also at 4 kills themselves. Now, still in Tilted. I honestly expected a lot more kills coming in, but also, too, it's risky for mats. You're seeing NICKMERCS. He has no mats currently whenever it comes to resources. Sypher has a couple there, but that could be a little bit testy, especially if they start pushing out, which they are, in fact, going to be doing. So it looks like they're going to be crossing over the river. Now, my question is, are they going to meet up with Myth and Hamlins as the game is going to progress? We've seen some kills go down. Only 25 engagements left.
A loot llama. Oh, that is definitely something that they need coming out of Tilted with the mat situation that you were just talking about. They come out, and Sypher immediately finds a loot llama, which is going to give them a shield advantage that we were talking about a second ago. I don't think it's going to give NICKMERCS the same. No, it turns out there's only one
they'll split
full pot, but it definitely does give at least one of them 200.
It's like a surprise birthday party every time you find one.
Every time.
It's like the most exciting thing. I will literally go out of my way and die at least 50% of the time to just go shoot. I'm like, I think I need this llama.
Yeah.
There's 2 teams fighting right next to it. You know what?
It's still mine. I claim you. You are my birthday party. Thank you so much. Yeah, I feel like everybody's like that. As soon as you see a loot llama, it's happy. It's hype. You're just so excited about finding it in the first place.
And that's another small thing that you look at Fortnite and their additions, right? A loot llama. Who would have thought about that other than Fortnite? They came in with that, and they bring hype in like unconventional ways. But with that being said, Myth is in fact going to be pushed. Look at the building skills.
It's just insane. Knows when to go through.
Built over 2 players, Legion and Ali, and then comes down, finishes off one, knocks him, gets the other, and that's going to be a solid 2-piece to bring him up to 4 kills total.
For that other guy.
I believe they're at 6. Could you? And Ryan pointed this out last tournament whenever he was commentating. Think about how scary and how detrimental it is. Facing off, we have a tournament going on, but mind you, they're spawning into public lobbies. How scary is it to have these top-tier players coming in playing against you? I would just leave the lobby immediately if I knew.
I feel like I wouldn't leave the lobby. I would, and obviously I wouldn't be one of those people that stream snipe. Don't be that person. But if I saw somebody play like that in a game, I would literally just wait to rotate to then hide under their eventual sky base they'll build at the end, like some wizards. I mean, they're really on some flying around on the broomstick building this stuff. I would just be underneath it like, hey, I'm going to chop your build down real quick. Hopefully you die. But then you know what's funny is they catch on to everything. It's like just how much you have to practice and play to be able to catch every single just little thing that'll help you in gunfights and build fights. I mean, this is why you got to put the time in. For anybody out there that's aspiring to be a professional Fortnite player, somebody that wants to be one of those streamers that can get into these tournaments, I mean, just play, grind. That's what it's always been about from day one, and that's what you see these guys do every day.
Every single day. These guys are on for hours and hours and hours. And not just that, they don't just spawn up and, get a shotgun and an AR and just push things. They switch up weapons. They try new things. They're constantly trying to push barriers on like what they can and cannot use, like what they're good with, what they're bad with. You see them every time something new comes out. You see them with nothing but that. Every time they can get their hands on it for so long to practice with these new things that come out, to make sure that whenever they do go into things like this, they know exactly what they're good with. They know what to get. They know what to leave behind. And that's one thing that I think sets apart a lot of players in this game.
And we're looking at Sypher now, and he managed to pick up at least 2 kills there with his partner NICKMERCS, and that's big because they were in fact 1 kill down from behind NICKMERCS and all them. So now I believe they're going to be a couple kills up at this point, and picks up a nice kill with that build edit and just showing another thing that Fortnite at least brought in. These build edits and these builds in general can get absolutely insane. It's such a unique aspect of Fortnite that we haven't seen before in other various games. And these players already, the build how they do is just honestly godlike. But got to watch out. NICKMERCS already in a fight. He is going to take some damage. He's going to do some defensive building. Looks like he's trying to push. Can't get that stairway, though, built. He's going to go ahead and dip down. Might be some loot down there. In fact, he is, in fact, going to pick that up. And I believe his other teammate did, in fact, pick up a kill. But already getting shot from the left down to 35. He's forced to use the med kit. And now Sypher's going to have to go big to try and pick off that kill.
Lay down some cover fire, try to help him out while he's trying to med kit. I feel like it's crazy. Whenever you see these big build-offs, as a PlayStation player, you're not used to them. You don't really go against people who have these massive build-offs. So for NICKMERCS to be able to maintain his composure and stay up in these situations is already impressive. And to be able to actually like battle against these PC players who, I would say building is a lot easier for them to go against these people who can get into these massive build-offs or these massive bases.
And I think that's why cross-platform practice and play in general is just something good to get into, especially if you're going to be in the competitive mindset anyways. Yeah. I've ran into quite a few PS4 players, Xbox players, and I'm grinding on that console that are absolute monsters at building, especially with the Builder Pro layout that we've been talking about. I feel like I have drastically improved. I feel like that's just something because you've got key bindings literally for your fingers on that controller has been super helpful. And then, you know, you watch NICKMERCS. I mean, once again, he kind of breaks that stereotype a little bit. I feel like there's a lot of players coming up, gaining some confidence themselves as well, saying, hey, I don't necessarily need to have a mouse to potentially win these. Yeah. So
I was just looking at their setups. They're actually quite similar. Look, we have two jetpacks now in the hands of the TSM boys. So, and their setups are quite similar. They have at least one pump. They have attack as well. And then, of course, they have the Scar. One has a gold, one has a purple. So very similar setups there. And that's kind of something I wanted to look at with the jetpack being introduced. But a gunfight going down, and this is going to be Sypher on your screen and building phenomenally well. But, of course, you got to watch out. They are, in fact, in the storm. So you got to be aware of that. It's going to be taken and chipping away at their health very slowly, but still kills are extremely crucial. He's going to go ahead and try and thirst that guy. Gets one hit. He does know there's a player around him. And let's see how he's going to get pushed. He does go down on him. Gets the knock as well. Picks up the kill. And I believe there's still one more player
solid
left.
Play. I mean, at this point, too, he's also got a slurp. So that should help him whenever they're trying to be escorted out of that storm. I mean, they're in the clear. But as you can see, I mean, NICKMERCS and Sypher now with a one-kill lead overall. And they're stuck in this really crappy scenario of still having to get out of the storm, still in gunfights.
Yep.
But that is only giving them more kills as they're luckily getting battles while they're at least stuck in that situation. A lot of times
still a very scary situation because if you stay in that storm fight for too long and you don't challenge it fast enough and get the kills fast enough, then you're going to die to the storm, which could possibly happen here.
Now look at this play from Sypher, which is what I love. He knows that he's not going to make it. So he's just trying to get close enough so he can get that heal after NICKMERCS makes his way in. Now, I don't know if this is going to be too far. I think I'll have plenty of time to be able to make it through. But once again, that's a scary scenario to be in.
It's a very scary scenario to be in.
Meanwhile, Myth is just enjoying the sunlight.
He definitely is.
He's just saying, hey, I'm not in the storm. I'm
He's
having a good day.
He's our little ray of sunshine today.
He's such a positive guy.
Oh,
I mean,
he is.
Very much
you know, that's
so.
just something that I love to see influence-wise in the community. And that's another thing I really love about Fortnite is because it's so colorful.
Yeah.
You have so much fun, whether you're playing at a competitive level or a casual level. And then what does that do for you? You have a guy like this coming in the scene, just want to make a positive impact on people in general.
Right.
Perfect influence for the community for a streamer.
That's one of the things that I really enjoy about the Fortnite community. Like you said, it's just so positive. It's really a breath of fresh air how positive everybody is. And I think it just comes to show because Fortnite's such a fun game. Even in competitive environment, it's still a fun game.
It is.
You know, and it doesn't really, it's not really inducive to raging. Look at this Sypher trying to make his way over to get through that storm. And actually, you look at the bottom screen, he did manage to do so, but he's still only sitting at 6 health. But nonetheless, what is the score? So we got 2 down there, 10. So we have 10 to, I believe it's 10 to 10, actually. I believe it's
all
10
tied up.
And Sypher actually does drop looking at NICKMERCS' screen. So Sypher's going to be down. NICKMERCS is going to be there. He's still sitting at very few health with very few mats in terms of health-wise. He does manage to get up to 50 shield, but look at that. He's completely out at this point.
And Myth and Hamlin's now have the lead. So, I mean, you've got competition, 6 others up. Nick basically just seems to try to play the cleanup role, get those cherry picks like we keep mentioning. I mean, if he can do so, I mean, this puts them in a better spot. Unfortunately, you know, Sypher wasn't able to make that, but he did get 3 or 4 kills before they exited the storm. So,
yeah, and now here we are with the man and the myth, seeing how many kills that they can get over here, going to go into those engagements, and I feel like they're just unstoppable at this point. This is crazy. There's only 3 other players left on the map, so I don't know how many they're up currently.
They'll take the lead. They'll take the lead for sure.
Will take the lead for this round.
That's 13 already. I mean, you're looking at that 13 to 10. Mercs is still trying to make his way to just even find somebody.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. I mean, you had about 45 seconds to a minute and a half burnt over there just trying to get your teammate out of the storm and moving. Reset. Game 2, still not down by that much. I mean, 3 kills, obviously, right now. It's not a huge deficit.
Well, they're sitting at 13 kills. I believe they're at least going to come in, I think maybe 4 kills up. There's still 3 kills, like you said, remaining. So they could, in fact, be at least maybe a max of 5 kills up going in. We'll see now. Look at NICKMERCS' screen, how he's going to be sticking. Like you said, he's just going to be the thorn in their side, right? But it's also a safety thing, too, because even though they're not on a team, they still can't kill each other. And when they get an engagement, they're obviously not going to just throw NICKMERCS out there. NICKMERCS is still going to have that safety pad because the enemy's pushing them is going to be saying, hey, we've got a team of 3 in front of us. We need to shoot at all of them. They're not going to be biased, right? They're not going to say, oh, NICKMERCS is by himself.
Which I haven't seen any gunfights at this point, so I mean, I'm assuming it is going to end up in a 3v3. Usually you'll hear shots, and I don't know about you guys, but if I'm in a scenario where I'm down a teammate or 2, especially in squads, I usually try to wait it out to let the other teams just kind of battle it and then go in for that cleanup as soon as I hear that last gunshot fired, while they're looting, like we keep talking about. If I catch you in that spot where you're like, oh, a legendary shotgun and all these goodies, I'm killing you.
Yeah.
And Allie to score 10 to 13. Still a couple kills left. Like I said, they're going to be up at least maybe 3 to 5 kills, unless NICKMERCS can pick up a couple of kills, right? They're going to be building up. He's going to be building up at least, and maybe able to see some. This is a weird place for the circle to kind of end up at, right? I don't see this too often. I've seen a lot of dusty divots.
Prison,
but prison, prison's kind of a random spot. Oh, engagement is in fact going to happen. NICKMERCS though, he's going to have the advantage. He's going to be ahead of Myth and Hamlin's there in terms of overall. Engagement-wise, and there it is. So he
smart play from Mercs.
Very smart play, right? And he's going to push up once again. He's going to see the player ahead. This is really important for me. He has to be aggressive. He knows it. He's going to get a shot out. He gets the knock too. Can he get the third?
Gosh.
Oh! He ties it up single-handedly. 13-13 going into round 2.
That's crazy.
That's a competitor.
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
This guy's been playing video games competitively. So I started going to tournaments at 13. I'm 25.
Yeah.
This guy has been playing.
I'm 26.
Yeah, right. This guy's been doing this for longer than I remember watching him in LANs back in the day for Gears of War. He actually competed in Halo tournaments for a little while. Obviously switched over to Call of Duty.
Right.
This dude just has it in him. I mean, he wants to win in whatever game he's playing. So I mean, right there goes in with 80 health and is like, hey, I'm just going to clean this up. No big deal.
That's one thing that really stuck out to me is I feel like I would have played my teammates at that point, I feel like I wouldn't have had the confidence that we're talking about is so key in this situation. I would have waited for them to push up and maybe take some damage. And he is just like, absolutely not. You guys stand back. I've got this. Get on the back. I'm carrying you. Like, I mean, not that Sypher got carried by any means. He definitely did his
I guess
job.
actually it's going to be 12-14, excuse me, but still, nonetheless, for him picking up those 2 kills, that could have been what?
Huge.
That could have been a 6-point lead or at least a 4-point lead for the boys of TSM. But let's think about NICKMERCS here and what his overall strategy was. What was he thinking in that situation? I'm thinking, I've got to be aggressive. I've got to push for those kills. Even if I go down coming into the second round, honestly, being down 4 kills, 5 kills, 6 kills, whatever, it's not a lot, especially if they land tilted again. They can pick up those kills. Honestly, NICKMERCS pushing right there, it may have seemed risky to most. Why is he pushing? Honestly, he's not losing a lot if he did it, and we saw he gained a whole lot by doing
that.
so.
I mean, the pump is nasty, and if you get lucky and you get that full damage shot, you hit him in the head, right there's your kill that you need to continue building towards taking that lead back from your opponent. So, I mean, he just said, hey, listen, I've got no health. Let's just see what happens. Even if I do get knocked down here, at least I've still got a game where we're only down by 4 kills. Now he narrows it even more. So
and he still dominated it. One thing that's crazy to me is that they only got 4 kills coming out of Tilted. That was it.
Yeah, they were low.
2 and 2. Like I don't think I've ever seen that before ever. And for them to use that risky play, like that's a very risky play to land in Tilted. For them to land in Tilted and only come out with 4 kills, that risk was not worth that reward, in my opinion. Because I feel like most of the time you are going to go down in Tilted, and that is very risky. And the fact that they had the confidence going in and then only came out with 4 kills, like I feel like that has to be a little devastating.
Well, that's something that's curious that you just mentioned, right? And it comes to play with the RNG. There's a lot of RNG, at least in this game mode so far. We don't have private lobbies, right? We don't have spectator mode just yet, which is okay. We're making do with what we have. So what they do, they literally have to spawn into a private lobby. The competition could vary so incredibly wildly, right? You could be going up against another pro, another streamer. You could be going up against a total potato. It doesn't matter, right? There's a plethora of people you could be going against. Potatoes are phenomenal, especially
mashed potatoes
fries.
with some like buttercream gravy.
Oh man, don't talk dirty to me.
Country
Please.
Greg's
after the
back
night.
out.
Hey y'all, feeling good about it.
Oh, yeah, that country gravy.
I just noticed you have your own llama behind you.
Oh,
I do.
We got llamas. We got one over there.
I didn't realize
we got
that
one
until
behind
just
me.
now. I knew
There's
that. Have you named your llama?
I have not named the llama yet, but I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave that up to you. You think about some names.
Right.
But seriously, though, talking about it, I mean, there's a lot of RNG that plays into effect in these tournaments, okay? So with that being said, hey, you never know what's going to happen. But personally, I enjoy that aspect of it because I like seeing what can they do. What are they going to be going up against? How can they react? How can they adapt? It's all about how you adapt and overall in these game modes, period, right? You may think that it's just a random – I mean, it is just a pub match, but so many things can happen. NICKMERCS, Sypher, they go tilted. Come out with 4 kills. Last tournament, Ninja goes in, came out with 23 kills, or at least 11 kills coming out of tilted. It can just vary so widely. But that's the beautiful thing about these tournaments and seeing the overall RNG. But – hey, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing so far. But seriously, another thing to point out, too, NICKMERCS and Sypher, like I said, they won the first tournament. They got first place.
Yeah.
Second tournament, they didn't get very far. I believe they got at least top 32, top 25. That's a big fall from first place. Yeah. Now they're even more hungry, though, and I think that's why they're playing so well because they know they can be champions.
Well,
they want to be champions
They hot
again.
drop, but it wasn't it's not like they weren't making aggressive pushes. It just happened to be that there weren't very many people that landed tilted, it seemed like, and every gunfight that they pushed, they had 4 kills combined. Sometimes you get those dry lobbies where nobody's wanting any of that heat. They're all landing for some reason in Anarchy Acres, having a small get-together.
Yeah, and I feel like this is the best place to see these players because I feel like those 2 powerhouses would be really fantastic to see with their backs against the walls. How are they going to play this? What is their strategy? How are they going to come back and be the victors of this match, going against the man and the myth? I feel like that's going to be one thing that's really, really difficult, but really fun to see.
Well, here we are already into game number 2. As we saw in the first one, it was a close one, 14-12. Myth and Hamlins are going to be leading over NICKMERCS and Sypher by at least 2 kills, but it was so close. This round can go either which way. We'll see how the drops are going to go down. We're going to see Myth and Hamlins once again. They're going to be pushing over Salty, keeping it consistent. And NICKMERCS and Sypher, they're already going to be back at tilted. And right away, Sypher's going to be in a gunfight going against one of the players. He manages to get the knock, and already this could be a strong start.
3 shotties in Sypher's hand already. Look at this. Blue pump, being able to switch back and forth, just immediately trying to get these drops as soon as they've landed. 2 players knocked, and of course Nick's already taken shots as well.
And then here we go over in Salty. It looks like things are getting pretty heated. Myth almost going down. Does manage to get the kill with a pistol and has some bandages. Looks like he'll be able to heal back up maybe in time. Hopefully, because I feel like anything could happen at this point.
Oh, anything could very rightly so happen, especially with this tilted drop, right? This is so incredibly risky, but I love seeing it. And already, there it is. NICKMERCS taking some damage with that shot, but still, with the composure, manages to get the knock and then eventually the kill. That puts them at 2 kills already, but of course, with Myth, he's still keeping it close with that 1 kill. There's still going to be 1 kill down. That is the team of NICKMERCS and Sypher. But I think Myth knows there's some players currently around him. He does see some building. And in fact, there is going to be a player challenging from up ahead. Can he get this kill? Knocks down the wall. The player is like, I don't want anything to do with this guy. He runs away, but Myth, he's like, you're not getting away.
You can see this tack sub we were talking about earlier. I mean, just does all that damage, switches right over to that green tack, boom, down. Just waiting for his teammate. Pops another one right around the corner. That guy just came like a rabbit.
Yeah.
He said good night.
Back to your hole,
good evening,
little rabbit. Back to the lobby. We don't want any more of you.
Well, he has a double pump now too, right? He's got the pump. Yeah. He also has the tack in his back pocket. He's got a green AR. He's not looking too bad. Looking at his partner though, Hamlins, he has a hunting rifle. He has a blue AR. He does have 2 great tacks, but not the greatest of loot. But look at that. Myth is going to go down. Oh, no. Hamlin's down as well. No, that hurts so much. Myth only picked up 3 kills here.
Goodness.
Looking at the opposite end, remember, they were up 2 kills. NICKMERCS and Sypher already sitting at 4 kills themselves. But wait a second. NICKMERCS goes down as well. Sypher. And with that being said, I think they're currently tied, right?
They're tied in this match.
They're
currently tied.
It could potentially
go to a game 3. It will go to a game 3, but with NICKMERCS dead and out, Sypher needs to pick up a kill. He can secure the victory and move them on against a huge round against these TSM guys, who was my favorite to take this tournament. This is so big for Sypher, guys. You got to be rooting behind him.
This is absolutely huge. Absolutely huge for him. I mean, this could potentially make or break their entire bracket, and they wanted to come in and just win it all. So I feel like his back is up against the wall, but I feel like he's the player that can actually win this and clutch this up.
Pacing's massive. I mean, that's one of the things I see with NICKMERCS. A lot of people they feel like they need to play beyond aggressive, and you're looking at this. All Sypher needs to do is take it easy, maybe get a pop shot, do one of these cherry picks from another team that's engaging in a gunfight. All he has to do is grab 1 kill.
17, yeah. So actually at this point, TSM does in fact lead the way. So Sypher needs at least 1 kill to keep them alive. Already he's going to be in a fight, though. This is going to be extremely risky. He's going to go ahead and build up. Player above him. He takes so much damage. He's at 15. He doesn't have time to use his med kit or pop his minis. And there,
he knocks him.
He's got to thirst him. He's got to go for the kill. He's got to get it.
There it is. They're tied.
At least right now they're tied. He's at least at this point forced a game 3 between the two. Yeah. But of course, like we said,
he's got no mats.
He's got no mats, but he does have the shields. That's going to give him a little bit of a buffer. It's going to put him at 50 with at least 15 health. He's going to go ahead and throw the traps down.
Smart play from Sypher.
Very smart play. He's going to use his med kit. Guys, he only needs 1 kill to knock TSM to the loser bracket.
Look at this composure from Sypher in general. Absolutely. I mean, you don't even see a change in this man's facial expression. All he's thinking to himself is, all right, I got to pace this out, get this kill, and that's where changing that build right in that moment, editing it, that guy literally was not expecting to get his face popped right there in that scenario.
But he takes another shot. No!
And a tied remote game.
He was all healed up at 50 shield. Yeah. He knew the player was pushing above him, but that's just how it goes when you're playing Fortnite. You never know what the opponent's going to be holding, and he managed to hold a pump shot that came down, got pumped in the face, and it was all over. But nonetheless, they're not down and out. Best of 3. They're still going to the 3rd round. They managed to tie it up.
And you know Myth is counting his blessings right now.
Oh,
the TSM squad is literally thinking to themselves, okay, we got bodied, they got bodied, all good. Going into a 3rd match, immediate reset. So it's literally just, I'd say the conservative playstyle will probably benefit them more here. We saw that hot drop from Tilted from them worked fine the first game, low amount of kills for NICKMERCS and co. And I mean, we'll see where they're going to land this time.
I feel like it's the composure that really helped him in that last fight to actually tie this up, because I feel like that's what really separates players is the composure that they can hold. I mean, he looked like he was thinking about going and getting a Mountain Dew after this game. Like he didn't look like he was about to tie this up in a $20,000 tournament. You know, that's crazy to me, because I feel like I would be like, well, you know, I'd have my sweatband on and just gamer grip, like ready to go. You know, so.
I used to play with a like a bath towel wrapped around under my armpits.
Did you really?
Yeah, my friend and I, his apartment was like, I mean, it was like the hottest place in the world, I think. And yeah, we would literally, it would just be, I could fill a bucket up and then rewash a car with it. That's graphic, I know.
Not wash,
but it was for you.
That's it was for me.
Yeah, it was for you. With the rain, I got the Rain X, everything I got you taken care of.
Oh my goodness.
So, Legion, YouTuber extraordinaire. 300,000 followers on Twitter. Now he's going to be washing your vehicle near you. That's your next. Hey, that's the new startup.
A car wash operator.
What would you name it?
What would I name it?
Yeah.
JoJo's Clean Cars.
That is not what I expected at all. Not what I expected at all from someone as extraordinary as you. I don't know.
I mean, it needs to be really bland. I'm from the Midwest, so we keep it low key.
I can imagine
for people that want to visit.
I can imagine you just opening it up, just naming it JoJo, and just coming in as your country. With your country voice.
Where's your 96 Civic at? I'm going to take real good care of it.
And then you do that, and then Allie.
And then I'd be like the Daisy Dukes with the cutoff.
Running. Oh, no, you're staying.
I would wave.
You would wave.
I have to welcome people. Come on.
Jeez, we're actually recruiting you for this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so our first round 3 so far in this tournament, what are your guys' predictions?
I'll let you do it, Legion. Hey, what do you think?
Man, you know, it's a really hard question to answer here, but I think Myth and them might actually have a better shot at taking this. I feel like they're counting their blessings from not being knocked out already or knocked into losers bracket. In this scenario, if I was them, I'd be like, man, we got to come out hot. So I think they're just gonna bring everything they've got here for game 3. And
do you think we're gonna see another salty landing?
Mercs, I mean, I don't see why not. Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna also see another tilted landing?
I hope so.
I do too.
Salty and tilted. Woo!
Make my day.
So this is the thing. I don't know. I mean, because it's like this is why I hate predictions, okay? Because I never know with these tournaments. I have predicted so many times and been wrong the majority of the time, okay? Except Landon. Landon predicted FaZe to go pretty far. They went really far. But seriously, it's so incredibly difficult to pick who is going to take it. I love the TSM guys. I love the TSM squad in general. I love Team TSM. Okay, Hamlin's a myth. That's a powerhouse team. If I'm looking at them going against NICKMERCS and Sypher, obviously I'm favoring them. But now I'm starting to wonder, like, hey, NICKMERCS and Sypher, they've been playing pretty solid, okay?
I got to vote for my console.
Yeah,
homies
console buddies.
Off the rip here.
Didn't see that coming at all.
I want to. Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I want to see them do well. Obviously, I just want to see a good match. I want to see it come down to the wire and maybe even just be all tied up until you get down to that last team, and then so you can maybe even take the win off 1 or 2 kills.
We already know that NICKMERCS has that one locked and loaded. No, I feel like this is going to be a really fun game. I really hope that we see another tilted landing. I feel like that would be phenomenal to see, especially game 3. You're tied. Like that's such a crazy play to make. I feel like it's crazy from the rip to land tilted twice and to still be tied in this tournament is crazy. They've done such a phenomenal job, so I feel like that would be an amazing thing to see, another tilted landing.
And I would love to know your guys' prediction overall, right? Yeah. Tweet at us at UMG Events. Come on. Tweet at us. I mean, who do you think? NICKMERCS, Sypher, you think it's going to be the TSM boys, Hamlin's, as well as Myth? I can't predict it either which way, but your predictions, of course.
We might even have a poll made if somebody listening to us.
Polls would be cool for these tournaments. Polls would be cool for these tournaments to get involved in.
You know, Legion, I think one thing that's really crazy is I heard that NICKMERCS uses code UMG for his SCUF controllers.
Oh, that is so smooth, Ali.
For all.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something.
SCUF purchases.
Yeah.
Give me the camera. Give me the camera, producer.
Ooh.
Okay, put it on there. All right, Ali set this up right. All right. If you want a SCUF controller, you're a PS4 player, but you want a little bit of an advantage, right? You want maybe 4 paddles on the back. You want 2. Maybe you want their new controller that they're introducing out there, okay? Use the code UMG. Now, I'm talking them nice and smoothly. I think I'm selling this pretty well.
I really feel like you're – I like this.
You want to buy it too, right?
I'm actually on my phone right now.
Yeah.
Like UMG. Give me the camera back. Give me the camera back real quick. I know we're going to the game. Go to SCUF Gaming. Use code UMG to get your discount to pick up a SCUF controller. All right. I'm done with this. Let's get into the game. We're going into game 3, ladies and gentlemen.
First game 3, baby.
Everybody's repositioning on the couch. We're getting into it. We're all leaning in, getting our sweatbands ready. Let's do this. I'm so excited to see this matchup. Game 3. Who would have thought that we'd be here?
Allie, where are they at? They're Shifty.
They're at Shifty.
There you go.
They heard your strategy, Allie.
What? Yes, Shifty. This is my favorite place on the map. I feel like there's so many other advantages to landing here. Just being able, I mean, instantly he has a half shield and a tactical shotgun. I feel like that's fantastic whenever you're coming off the rip. To have shields and have all of these weapons at their disposal and then push tilted whenever they are ready, I feel like is just a huge advantage.
It's so frustrating whenever you spawn off the rip and all you've got is a pistol and you're close range with somebody that's already got a blue pump or a blue tack and you're just like, man, like, what am I supposed to do in this scenario? And I think that's one reason why I like to watch a lot of these, pro players plays because I learn, okay, well, this is what they're doing. They're maneuvering around the map, making sure they're not getting in the direct gunfire whenever they're in those fights right in front of them from 5 feet away. They're pacing themselves. And once again, that's so important, especially in Fortnite, because you can literally control those gunfights in terms of,
I also feel like a lot of the people who land Shifty are the ones who are like, okay, I'm going tilted. And then they kind of do a little half spin, and they see a lot of people like,
abort mission,
maybe
abort
not,
mission.
maybe let's go ahead and go on down here, where there's less of that.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're going against people who are a little more afraid than people who are landing tilted. So I feel like you have easier gunfights off.
You got to have chemistry with those relands, though. A lot of times I'll be like, hey, I'm actually just I'm going to rotate over there and get on, Shifty shafts, and then my teammate's like, hey, I landed in the middle of Loot Lake. Yeah, your direction's a little off.
Definitely.
Well,
so
look, Allie, I mean, check it out. Look, Myth and Hamlin's, they go salty once again. We knew they were going to be doing so. They've already picked up at least 2 kills, so they're going to be matching. Why did the caster curse? No, he's thirsting him. He's dancing. But he's getting away. Only him can. Okay, yeah, he goes down. But, of course, Hamlin's going to come up behind, and he's going to manage to at least pick up that kill.
Yeah.
But that hurts, especially in a game 3.
You can see it on his face.
Still tied. Hamlin's is still up. I mean, it's definitely Myth and TSM are not out of this equation. But you're seeing Nick, and then they're looking at that, and all they're thinking to themselves is, okay, well, if he's got to come do the cherry pick, all we do is make sure that we're probably pushing with one pushing with and one pushing from behind if they all end up making it to the end.
Well, and with how far away Hamlin's is right now, they have the opportunity to push tilted and get as many of these tilted kills as they possibly can before he even gets to their side of the map. So they have an opportunity right in front of them to get a lot of kills to pull this game up in their favor. Even if he does come try to cherry pick, which I feel like would go into play a little bit later with how far he is. So they definitely have a small advantage right here being so close to tilted.
And they're looted well.
Which looks like is exactly what
they're
going to do.
And they're pushing together, and there's really no need to be playing ultra aggressive at this point. You're just trying to get these cleanups so you can garner this lead.
Yeah, and I mean, Hamlin's, they know Hamlin's right now is going to be in a fight, okay? So Hamlin's going to be building up over this player, and he should get this kill, and there it is. He picks up a nice, smooth kill. So I believe that puts him a total of 3 kills, but still, I believe that's tied up. Yeah, there's going to be at least 1 kill up, right? So if something astronomical happens, we see NICKMERCS and Sypher drop, they could still win this game nonetheless. But you do see them. They are going to be pushing tilted, and Sypher trying to get the heads, and Sypher does get it. He ties it up. Hamlin's Now, see, this is the thing that I have to be thinking. We talked about it, right? Being a nuisance and being a thorn in the side. Hamlinz at this point would hugely benefit from meeting up with NICKMERCS as well as Sypher at this point. But if I'm NICKMERCS and Sypher, I'm trying to get as far away from him as possible. I don't want him to have the opportunity to get our kills.
And this is such a good play from NICKMERCS coming in here while Sypher is sniping and giving cover fire overhead and putting a lot of aggression on these players. NICKMERCS says, I'm going to push up into their face, and I'm going to try to get these kills without them paying any attention to me at all because my teammate's back there. No. And then immediately gets pushed from behind. But thankfully, the thing that sets these players apart is he knows, and he just turns around and immediately builds, gives himself cover, gets out of that position, and starts moving to a safer one.
I feel like it's just one of those scenarios where you see two types of teams here. One that plays staggered like Nick and Sypher, where he is playing this back-end role where he's just trying to get those pickups, get them weak so Nick can get those cleanups. Or you have it where you're just running and gunning together, and that's what we thought Hamlinz and Myth were doing, but literally 2-3 seconds of in-game play accidentally separates. Maybe it's 3 levels in a building. You got a second floor and a bottom floor, and that's what happened to Myth. Unfortunately, he was taken out alone. So really, I think it's just dependent on each scenario that makes your gameplay style relevant.
And there it is, 21-20. Nick and Sypher coming with that tilted push have managed to take over the lead, and so aggressive. Sypher's pushing again. NICKMERCS on top. That player has got to be so scared, but of course the John Wick on the bottom. Can we see it? Yes, NICKMERCS does in fact knock that player out. We see the kill finally coming in, taking some damage. That's okay though. NICKMERCS on top, and there it is with Sypher finishing up the kill, cleaning it up, and of course Hamlinz still over there close to Salty, pushing his way over towards Dusty, but man, kills at this point is going to be a bit tough. Of course, still plenty of engagements left, okay? Yeah. We've seen a lot of things happen, but with how they are working Tilted, hey, they're working it really well. They now have at least a 2-point lead. This is showing the overhead view, at least a replay coming in of NICKMERCS and how he was able to pick off those kills, helping out Sypher ultimately get some good, at least a good padding for their score overall. But at this point, hey, like you guys said, if I was NICKMERCS and Sypher, I'm kind of just waiting, honestly, for Hamlinz maybe to go down.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised in Sypher after this last engagement. He had 3 grenades in his pocket that he never decided to use. And I feel like knocking or landing even one of those into that 1-by-1 that they had would have definitely set I mean, they got the kills anyway. They definitely did that. I'm just really, really intrigued by
I just like to see how these players collide as teammates.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw that. Mercs was up there. It was just slow communications. Once again, back to pacing. He was just like, hey, listen, can you push in now? Because I think we've got them in a good spot where they don't have any sort of height advantage. There's no sincerely big builds. Just make your way in, and of course, need up taking that whole squad out.
Hamlinz isn't even missing a beat here, you know? He knows that he's by himself. He still gets a knock, still challenging this player. He's not even going for the cherry picks like we were talking about earlier. He's not playing it safe. He's playing it all on his own, and he's mastering it. He's doing well. He has a player behind him. That might be kind of scary.
He's a wizard.
He definitely is a wizard.
He's my dad, actually.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You can't be that lucky.
If he gets these kills,
I mean, this is an extremely vital gunfight for him.
Absolutely.
If he's able to take these 2 out, this just brings him closer. There's still 32 other players up, including the ones that he's got in this gunfight. I mean, he's not out of this at all.
Look at this. He manages to get a lot of the shield off. He's got 2 players just ahead of him. He's going to be building up, going in for another shot. Gets the knock as well, but he goes down, and that's going to be it. The TSM guys are, in fact, going to be moving down to the loser bracket. I do believe if I get confirmation of that with a scoreboard, please, but I think that's it. I believe that was a total of 5 kills. And already I'm looking at 7 from NICKMERCS. Actually, we game 3, so that's it. That's going to be NICKMERCS and Sypher moving on, and they're still continuing it up. And man, oh man, I favored the TSM boys going into this, but NICKMERCS and Sypher are just totally on another level here, on another mission, showing that the PS4 is back, and they are ready to show.
They really are.
It is a viable, competitive thing to use.
It is.
Celebration from Nick. He's like, all right, we got it. Thanks for not choking that last one, Sypher. Way to get that kill.
I feel like they dominated it, and I feel like this really helps people like myself and Legion because we are so tired of seeing everybody counting out the console players. It drives me crazy. People will literally be like, oh, console plebs. Well, there it is. There is your console pleb. Moving on.
I think what'll be really interesting to see, though, is when we get to the point where there are private lobbies and you can have PC but against these top console players.
Right.
You know, what's that matchup actually going to look like? Who's going to be able to take, you know, those types of games? How are the builds going to look? Is there going to be some sort of strategy where they're just like, okay, I'm not even going to bother with that because you're just doing this with your keyboard?
That's what I do.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
and just
like,
dominating. It's like, I don't know. I'll really be excited to see that whenever it starts to happen.
One thing that I would actually like to see, just randomly, I don't think ever happen. But it could. Who knows? Look at that score. 26-21, taking over TSM. That's a good lead.
5 kills.
I would like to see just randomly someone comes in this tournament. He's a mobile player, and he just comes in and he just dominates the competition and just totally wins it on a mobile gaming device. And that would you talk about
playing
head
like
exploding.
a 2008 iPod Touch.
Yeah.